How's it going, guys? This is Mr. Extra from Team Extra, and boy, do I have a surprise for you. I'm sure everyone else is all aware that the ban list dropped, and you know what that means. There's gonna be a lot of changes in the meta, but unfortunately, your boy was wrong about something. I thought that Verde wasn't gonna get hit, but here we are. So we're gonna go over the ban list and go pros and cons, see why they hit what, and go from there. So first things first, they hit Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. So Auroradon, if you are not familiar with this card, basically generates a bunch of tokens, creates a bunch of Vantage, and then they use Auroradon with Fibrax, Crystron and Hobby Fibrax to go into a big, long, drawn-out combo for a bunch of sad decks or Synchro Adventure DP decks and a bunch of other stuff to basically create a big field, a bunch of advantage, and do multiple things. So I'm a little shocked that they hit that specifically. But, I mean, I guess I chose to hit that over hitting Fibrax, which to me doesn't make sense, but I mean, hey. Firebrux dodged the ban list for another couple months at least. Do I think he's going to get banned in the near future? No, because banning Auroradon is going to stop a lot of the Firebrux combos. I mean, to an extent, but between the two, I would have banned Firebrux because without Firebrux, you wouldn't even climb into Auroradon, basically. But whatever, I guess they decided to cut it right at the top rather than in the middle to watch it fall. So, the next thing they banned was Prank Kids Meow Meow Mew. Well, if you're playing Prank Kids, you might be putting it up for a while because without your first Link 1, I guess you want to call it extender, to do your climb up, yeah, you're not going to be doing that anymore. But, that being said, we are going to move on to the next thing. So the next thing on the list is Verde. Verde is probably the most interesting thing that got banned anyways. Verde, if you are not familiar with it, Verde Plant, Verde Anaconda was an extender that was a link to that it would basically let you go into fusion plays. You would use it to make you'd use it as a super poly. Most currently, people would use it for Fusion Destiny. They would use it to pitch Fusion Destiny to make DPE. Or they would, as of like the last, 2-3 weeks, probably like the last month or so, I'm pretty sure it's more recent than that, people would use Verde to go Branded Fusion to make a Mirror Jade Ice Dragon, and then Verde as the material. So, it was a pretty good hit. That was the one guess that I was wrong about. Now, let's go over the other stuff that I'm a little confused about, but I mean, hey, every time they do a ban list, Konami will unban some random stuff, and it looks like they're slowly start to release their grip on the old stuff. So, our next thing is Jet Synchron. Jet Synchron was banned for a while because he was broken, because it was one of the really, really good level 1 tuners for the junk engine originally, but the main reason was it was used for aggressive synchro decks. I'm surprised that that's coming off the list, but hey, you gotta do something, right? That's been locked down for a while. So they lit up on that. Red Rose Dragon. They limited that down to 1. I think the only reason why they limited Red Rose Dragon down to 1 is literally because my assumption is because all the pile decks, the Synchro Adventure DPE decks, the base decks. So it has a lot to do with that. Because if you've been paying attention to the format, which is it's going to take another shift. It just did before when Dimension Force came out, but it's going to take another one. Like 100%, something's coming down. It's going to happen. The ban list is going to throw the meta up in the air, which it kind of did a little bit. But Prank Kids was already out the door anyways. So I guess they decided to put the final nail into the coffin, so to speak, for Prank Kids. Alright, so the next thing is Yatagarasu came off the list. Yatagarasu's been banned for, I don't even remember how long. Like, GOAT format. Yatagarasu's been banned for a long time. I know it's minimum 10 plus years. I feel like it's been longer than that. But Yata is not going to be able to do very much now. I'm surprised that they're unbanning it now instead of sooner because, I mean, Yata, if you've never dealt with Yatagarasu, it's a little bird that is a spirit that flips himself out in the field, attacks, and then your opponent can't do their draw phase, and it comes back to hand. Real simple. You could do some cheesy stuff with it depending on how dedicated you are to it. But, I mean, we're going to see a lot of changes. I'll be shocked if people incorporate Yatagarasu. There's going to be a lot of new strategies probably based around just crippling the opponent, because if you basically get an opponent to you burn all their cards in their hand and then you throw him out and do a little 300 and put him back, you're pretty much going to slowly win the game because they just can't draw, and then they go through the whole turn without being able to do nothing if they're trying the top deck and they're running out of gas. So, Hoppy Fibrex or Crystron Fibrex is at 1. Most people would play him at 1 anyway, so that's the other thing. They banned Auroradon and they limited Fibrex, which, I mean, that'll slow down the Fibrex combo quite a bit, but people are still going to use it. Anyone who's using a Synchro deck is going to use it. I'm going to use it still. I'm 100% still going to use it, but that is beside the point. So let's see what else we got here. We have Perform Pal Monkey Keyboard, or Monkey Board. Now, Monkey Board, if you remember when Perform Pals were out, was a really busted card that pretty much lets you do multiple things. It was so good that they banned it pretty much immediately, from what I remember. And then they unbanned that too, because I feel like Konami's trying real hard to shift the meta into pendulums and favor pendulums, because you have Beyond the Pendulum that just came out from Dimension Forest, which is basically Electromite without being Electromite, but... And then you got some pendulum support as well, which I'm cool for it. I'm down for pendulums. I haven't played them for a long time. I would not mind. Shooting Riser Dragon is at 1, which, I mean, hey, most people who are running it, they're running it in a sad deck, or they're running it in a based deck. The main goal is you flip that out in the field along with a Fibrex, and you do double synchro summons, basically, on your opponent's turn. That was like the whole point of that, which I'm looking for that anyways. Now, oldie but goodie. Change of Heart came off the ban list to 1. Well, scratch that. It's limited to 1, which makes this pretty interesting. Makes it very, very, very interesting. Now, if you remember Change of Heart at all, Change of Heart was simply, if I'm not mistaken, it was just a, because I remember when this card came out. Just target one monster your opponent controls. Take control of it till the end phase. It's not once per turn, which is part of the reason why it got banned. So it's basically like mind control without limitations, or a snatch steal without limitations, stuff like that. You can attack with the monster. Am I going to be running it? Of course. Am I going to dig it out? Yeah. Yeah. If you have it, you might as well use it, because that's free real estate all day. And it's not once per turn, but with it limited to 1, you probably only get to use it once, unless, of course, you can cycle spells like a couple people I know. Anyways, we're going to go on down. So, what we have left, we have a Time Seal, which Time Seal to 1, which being limited and then coming to 1 was kind of weird, because all it does is it skips the draw phase of your defense next turn. That's pretty good. You can do quite a bit with that, actually. And I know I have that card too. And guess what, buddy? We're going to run that too. You might as well, because skipping someone's draw phase insanely cripples them, depending if they're top decking. So, Dynamite Knight, the true Draco fighter, came back up to 2 as a semi-limited. But, if I remember correctly, he's just another piece for the true Draco kit. And he does some fancy stuff. When it comes to a quick effect, you can target one True Draco or True Queen, continuous trap, confirm your deck, and you activate it, add to your hand. And then to tribute some of this card, Face up, you can tribute continuous spell trap you control instead. Once returned, when your opponent activates card effect while you control this card, that's when you can pop stuff to negate it. It's a pretty good card. Benton is back up to 2. That's disgusting. So, I don't know the point of that. People are already slutting Benton around for a while. Especially like your rogue Drytron players. But here we are. Here we are, guys. Fire Formation 10 key. Went from 1 back to 2. Those Tri-Brigade players are going to be ecstatic. Those Zodiac players are going to love it, even though Zodiac's rogue and Tri-Brigade's running Tri-Branded, so expect to see more of that. It's basically an additional... It does an additional, let me double check, summon I believe. I'll let you search for level 4 over a Beast Warrior from your deck to add to your hand. And it gives the additional scaling, which no one does 10 key for the scaling. They do it for that free search. And it's a good spot for Joyous. Pot Desire is back up to 2. Why? I mean, I don't use pot cards, but why? There's no point for all that. No point at all. But it is back up to 2, I guess. Trickstar Light Stage is back up to 2. Now, I don't know why they even changed anything with the Trickstars. They're not even relevant. And if you don't know what that does, it's when this card is activated, add a Trickstar monster from your deck to hand. Once per turn, you can target one set card in your opponent's spell and trap card zone. While this card is in the field zone, that set cards cannot be activated until the end phase, and your opponent must activate it during the end phase. Also, send it to the graveyard. Each time a Trickstar monster you control inflicts battle damage or effect damage to your opponent, inflict 200 to them. And if you've never dealt with Trickstar, that's all burn damage. And then, Wall of Revealing Light. Why? Activate by paying any multiples of 1,000 light points your opponent's monsters your opponent controls cannot attack if their attack is less than or equal to the amount you paid. Useful, but if you're going to benefit anything off Wall Revealing Light, which is an old school trap card that's going to get hit with Ash, well, not Ash, but Ghost Ogre, you just Ghost Ogre it real fast, you will know that you're going to have to pay a minimum of 3 to benefit from that. And then you can just pay the 3 to for someone to negate it anyways. But I mean, why? I don't know why. Let's see, what else? I believe that's all the current changes that I've seen. So, you played Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day like I did, you might as well dig out your Change of Heart, your Time Seals. Because that's going to be relevant again, I guess. Aside from that, your Jet Synchron. Here we go. Verde being banned is pretty funny because it's still a fusion format. So Despia will get hit a little bit. I mean, Despia really don't need to use it, but it'll get hit a little bit. What else? What else would get hit? Anyone who tries to main board DPE. Seeing Prank Kids getting crippled was pretty entertaining, honestly. And I'm a Prank Kids player. I used to play it quite a bit. I put it up after a while. I got bored with it, mainly because you know how it is. As soon as something becomes relevant, meta shifts, and then everyone is running the counters or the token collector. And then, yeah. Mech Phantom Beast Rordon. Interesting. It's still going to be that's just going to be interesting to see how that goes. That's definitely going to cripple some synchro decks. We'll just say that. So it's going to cripple the base decks. It's going to cripple the sad decks. And then we went over Verde. We went over Meow Meow. We went over Rordon. But pay attention because this is going to get interesting, guys. This is going to get really, really interesting. So, that being said, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment if you want, hit the bell. There'll be more content. Expect the Friday Night Locals video, and 95% chance expect some Dual Night videos with some possible Dual Academy shit. I'll explain later. We'll see. But expect a lot of content to get rolled out. So, thanks for watching, guys.